This is 6 Minutes, the Seriously International Daily Newscast. It's Friday, April 18th, and I'm Emma Albright.
And I'm Anne-Sophie Goninet. It's almost dinner time in Manila while people are preparing breakfast in Brasilia. In Palermo and here in the War Crunch newsroom in Paris, it's just after midday. These are the latest headlines. The US warns it will abandon Ukraine peace efforts if no progress is made soon. Hamas rejects Israel's latest ceasefire proposal. And our More Than a Minute feature looks at how Polish identity is evolving. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio warned that President Donald Trump would walk away from trying to broker a Russian peace deal within days unless there are clear signs that a deal can be done. After meeting European and Ukrainian leaders in Paris, Rubio said Friday that the US administration was, quote, not going to continue with this endeavor for weeks and months on end. This comes as Kyiv announced the signing of the outline of a minerals deal with the US, which it aims to finalize by the end of next week. Italian newspapers today featured detailed coverage of Thursday's White House meeting between Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni and Donald Trump. Meloni was the first EU leader to have a face-to-face with Trump since he announced and then suspended 20% tariffs on European exports. Rome-based daily Il Riformista captured the mood of the friendly encounter, showing an Oval Office picture of the two leaders smiling warmly, with the headline in English, Love Actually. In Gaza, Hamas has rejected the Israeli ceasefire offer presented earlier this week and called for a comprehensive deal to end the 18-month-long war. The announcement prompted far-right Israeli lawmakers to issue calls for an immediate escalation in the enclave, as rescuers there reported that new Israeli airstrikes killed at least 40 people, most of them in camps for displaced civilians. In Yemen, Houthi rebels said early Friday that US airstrikes on its Ras Isa oil port killed 38 people and wounded 102 others. This marks one of the deadliest days since the US escalated its aerial military campaign against the Iranian-backed group in recent weeks. In Mexico, meanwhile, the traditional Americano coffee drink is getting a rebrand in some cafes. The shot of espresso with added hot water is being renamed Café Mexicano. The move is a swipe to President Donald Trump's renaming of the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. Our More Than a Minute feature today takes us to a new exhibit in Brussels that explores Polish identity and its relationship with other Eastern Europeans. Emma, tell us more about this new exhibit.
Familiar Strangers, Eastern Europeans from a Polish Perspective. That's the name of the exhibition at the Beaux-Arts Art Center in Brussels, Belgium. Speaking with Poland's top daily Gazeta Wyborcza, curator Joanna Warsaw explains how she wanted to show Eastern Europe through the eyes of minorities and diasporas living in Poland. Growing up in Eastern Europe in the 1980s, I had the feeling that the real Europe was somewhere else. We were just its cheaper version, Warsaw said. One notable work is Natalia LL's 1972 video installation entitled Consumer Art. The montage shows a blonde woman devouring first a banana and then a sausage, which today is still delightfully ambiguous. The West sees an erotic provocation or an ironic commentary on the objectification of women. The East knows that the object of desire can be not only the blonde woman, but also the banana, a rare product in socialist economies at the time. Gazeta journalist Emilia Dluszewska, who grew up in Poland a decade later, knows that this feeling did not disappear with the fall of the Iron Curtain or Poland's accession to the European Union. Poles, she writes, are gradually getting rid of our complexes towards the West. But should we also stop noticing our differences?
The exhibit brings us up to the present day and also includes artists living in Poland with origins elsewhere in Eastern Europe.
The place of Polish-based artists from Belarus and Ukraine is interesting in the context of the Ukraine war. And Luzuska writes that the artists from the Ukrainian collective Open Group have found a way to translate war trauma into the language of art without falling into patterns, pathos, or literalism, or following any unwritten rule that Ukrainians have their place in Polish society as victims of war. Jana Shostak, a Belarusian Polish artist, also does not fit the idea of a victim. She takes part in demonstrations and protests and performed a minute of screaming, an aggressive take on the minute of silence, at the exhibition opening in March. If art can teach contemporary Europe anything, Zuzuska concludes, it can teach us precisely this: to not give up on our voice, no matter who we are or where we're from.
We're closing things out today with our daily quiz question, which comes from Hollywood. Which saga will get a new movie in 2027 starring Ryan Gosling? Is it A. Harry Potter, B. Star Wars, C. Fast and Furious, or D. Indiana Jones? The correct answer is B. Walt Disney's Lucasfilm announced the release of a new Star Wars movie in May 2027, which will star Oscar-nominated actor Ryan Gosling. The film titled Star Wars Starfighter will take place 5 years after the events of 2019's The Rise of Skywalker and will be, quote, set in a period of time that has not been explored on screen yet.
That's the latest from around the world. If you like this podcast, we'd really appreciate it if you could help us out with a follow, share, and a 5-star rating on your preferred podcasting platform. For more of the best of the international press delivered exclusively in English, visit us at worldcrunch.com. We'll see you here on Monday. Bon weekend.